You're afraid. Right now, sitting there, you're afraid. Because you know there's a version of you screaming to get out. A version you don't believe you can become. A version so powerful, so unstoppable, it terrifies you. But here's the truth. That fear, it's a lie, a trick, a prison you built for yourself. You think you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough. Wrong. You're exactly who you choose to be. Every second you spend doubting yourself, every minute you waste on what if, every year you let slip by, you are volunteering to stay small, to stay weak, to stay beneath the life you know you deserve. Well, I'm here to tell you enough with the excuses, enough with the self-pity, enough with letting your past mistakes, your failures, your fear dictate your future, the person you're scared to become. That's the real you, the unstoppable you, the you that wins. This isn't about motivation. This is about war, a war against your doubts, a war against your limits, a war against the weak version of yourself that's been holding you hostage. And in war, there are only two outcomes: you win or you die trying. So ask yourself, are you ready to rewrite your identity, to step into the fire and let it forge you, to become the person you fear you can't be? Because that's exactly who you were meant to be. The choice is yours, but remember, greatness doesn't beg, it takes now. Go take it. Fear is a liar. It whispers in your ear when you're about to take the leap. It grips your chest when you're standing at the edge of greatness. It tells you, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you'll fail. And the worst part, you believe it, you let it control you, you let it decide your limits. But here's the truth, fear isn't real. It's not some unbreakable force, it's not a wall you can't climb. It's just a shadow, a trick of the mind, and shadows disappear the second you step into the light. Think about it. What are you really afraid of? Failure, embarrassment, pain. Let me tell you something. Failure is just a lesson. Embarrassment is just a moment. Pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. The regret of not trying. The regret of letting fear win. The regret of looking back years from now and realizing you could have been great, if only you hadn't been too scared to try. You want to know the biggest tragedy? Most people die without ever realizing their potential because they were too afraid to take the first step. They spend their whole lives trapped in their own minds, prisoners of what ifs. What if I'm not smart enough? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose everything? But what if you win? What if you succeed? What if on the other side of that fear is the life you've always dreamed of? The greatest men and women in history, the ones who changed the world, weren't fearless. They were terrified, but they did it anyway. They felt the fear and they moved, because they knew one thing most people don't. Fear is just a feeling. It doesn't control you unless you let it. The moment you realize that fear is nothing but an illusion, you become unstoppable. Look at your life right now. How many times has fear stopped you? How many dreams have you abandoned because you were scared? How many opportunities have you missed because you doubted yourself? And where has that gotten you? Nowhere, stuck, frustrated, watching other people live the life you should be living. But it's not too late. You can change. You can decide right now that fear will no longer be your master, that from this moment forward you will act in spite of fear. You will move in spite of doubt. You will fight even when every part of you is screaming to quit. Because that's what winners do. They don't wait for fear to disappear. They push through it. Let me ask you something. What's the worst that could happen if you face your fear? You fail. So what? You get back up. You learn, you grow, you become stronger. But what's the best that could happen? You break free. You become the person you were meant to be. You live a life without limits. Isn't that worth fighting for? Every single day you have a choice. You can listen to fear or you can crush it. You can let doubt hold you back or you can use it as fuel. You can stay small, stay safe, stay ordinary, or you can rise. You can become the kind of person who looks fear in the face and laughs. Because you know the truth, fear is powerless against action. The second you move, fear loses. So what's it gonna be? Are you going to keep letting fear dictate your life? Or are you going to destroy it? Are you going to keep believing the lies your mind tells you? Or are you going to prove them wrong? The power is in your hands. Fear is just an illusion. And the moment you realize that, nothing can stop you. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. You are not defined by where you are right now. Because you have the power to rebuild yourself from the ground up. Every single day you wake up with a choice to accept the person you were yesterday or to create the person you will become tomorrow. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are the architect of your future. And if you don't like the life you are living, tear it down and build a new one, brick by brick. Most people think identity is fixed, that who they are today is who they'll always be. That's bullshit. Identity isn't carved in stone, it's written in sand, and you hold the pen, you decide what stays and what gets wiped away. The version of you that failed last year, that doesn't have to be you anymore. The version of you that got rejected, that fell short, that doubted yourself, burn it. Start fresh. Reinvention isn't just possible. It's necessary if you want greatness. Look at the man or woman you admire most. The one who seems unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable. You think they were born that way? No, they built themselves. They took every setback, every failure, every moment of pain, and they used it as material. Raw, unshaped clay to mold themselves into something stronger. And you can do the exact same thing right now, today. But here's the hard truth. Reinvention isn't easy. It's work. It's waking up every single day and choosing discipline over comfort. It's looking in the mirror and hating what you see, not because you're weak, but because you know you're capable of more. It's ripping out the parts of yourself that hold you back, the laziness, the excuses, the fear, and replacing them with something better, something stronger, something unbreakable. You want to change your life? Start by changing your mind. Stop telling yourself, this is just who I am. No, you decide who you are. You want to be confident. Act confident until confidence becomes real. You want to be disciplined. Force yourself to show up every day until discipline becomes habit. You want to be fearless. Do the thing that scares you until fear bows to you. Reinvention isn't magic, it's repetition. It's doing the work day after day until the old you disappears and the new you takes over. And yeah, it's going to hurt. Growth always hurts. You're going to feel like an imposter. You're going to question yourself. You're going to want to quit. But that's the test. That's the moment when most people give up and crawl back to their old lives. But not you. You keep going. You keep building. Because you know that on the other side of that pain is the person you were meant to be. Think about it. Every hero, every champion, every legend you've ever admired was once ordinary. What changed? They decided to change. They took control of their identity. They refused to let the world define them. And you have that same power right now. You don't need permission. You don't need luck. You just need conviction. The unshakable belief that you can and will become more. So ask yourself, who do you want to be? Not who you are, who you want to be. The fearless version, the unstoppable version, the version that doesn't take no for an answer. That's the person you're building. Every choice you make, every action you take is another brick in that foundation. Another step toward that destiny. This is your life. Design it, build it, own it. You are not a victim. You are not stuck. You are the architect, and the blueprint is in your hands. Now get to work. Let me tell you something you already know but refuse to accept. Nothing worth having comes easy. That dream body, that requires pain. That financial freedom that demands sacrifice. That unshakable confidence that's forged through failure after failure. You want to transform, you want to become someone extraordinary, then you better be ready to bleed for it. Because pain isn't the enemy, pain is the price. And you either pay it now, or you pay it later with regret that will haunt you to your grave. Right now, you have a choice, one that will define your entire life. You can suffer the pain of discipline, or you can suffer the pain of regret. You can grind now and build the life you want, or you can take the easy road and spend the rest of your days wondering, what if? But here's the brutal truth, both paths hurt. The only difference, one pain leads to power, the other leads to misery. Which one will you choose? Think about the last time you really wanted something. Did you get it by sitting on the couch, by scrolling through your phone, by making excuses? No, the things you're proud of, the things that matter, came from struggle. They came from late nights, from early mornings, from pushing when every part of you wanted to quit. That's how greatness works. It doesn't fall into your lap. It doesn't come from luck. It comes from enduring what others won't, from doing what others can't, from refusing to back down when your body screams stop and your mind whispers you're not good enough. You want to know the secret. The pain is the transformation. Every drop of sweat, every moment of doubt, every second of exhaustion. That's not just hardship. That's alchemy. That's you turning weakness into strength. That's you burning away the old, soft version of yourself and emerging hardened, unbreakable, the kind of person who doesn't just survive challenges, who conquers them. But most people don't get this. They run from pain, they avoid struggle, they take shortcuts, and then they wonder why their life stays the same, why they never level up, why they're stuck in the same cycle of mediocrity. It's because they never paid the price. They never put in the work, they never embraced the grind, and now they're paying a different price. The slow, suffocating pain of a life half lived, of potential wasted, of dreams buried under excuses. Don't be one of them. Don't look back at 50, 60, 70 years old and realize you could have been great. If only you'd been willing to endure a little pain, if only you'd pushed harder, if only you'd fought. Because here's the truth, the pain of discipline is temporary, the pain of regret, that lasts forever. So what's it gonna be? Are you going to shy away from the struggle, or are you going to lean into it? Are you going to whine about how hard it is, or are you going to use that hardship as fuel? Every rep you push through, every rejection you bounce back from, every damn day you keep going when everything in you wants to quit. That's not just effort. That's investment. That's you buying your future self a life of freedom, of pride, of power. You were not put on this earth to play small, to take the easy way out, to settle. You were put here to fight, to grow, to transform, and that means embracing the pain, not running from it, not resenting it, but welcoming it, because you know what it really is: proof that you're changing, proof that you're evolving, proof that you're on your way to becoming someone unrecognizable from the person you used to be. So the next time it hurts, the next time you want to give up, remember this: that pain, that's the sound of your old self breaking. And what comes after? Something stronger, something fiercer, something unstoppable. Now get comfortable being uncomfortable. The best version of you is waiting on the other side of that pain. Go earn it. Listen to me and listen good. Weakness isn't something that happens to you. It's something you allow. Every time you give in to laziness, every time you surrender to fear, every time you let your excuses win, you're not just having a bad day. You're choosing to stay weak. And that choice, that's the only thing standing between you and the life you say you want. You want to know why most people never change? It's not because they can't. It's because they won't. They'd rather stay comfortable in their misery than face the temporary discomfort of growth. They'd rather blame the world than take responsibility. They'd rather feel like a victim than fight like a warrior. And that's why they lose, not because life beat them, but because they let it. But you're different, or at least you could be, because deep down you know the truth. Weakness isn't your default setting. It's not who you are. It's just who you've been, and that can change today, right now. The second you decide that enough is enough, the second you stop accepting your own excuses, the second you look in the mirror and say no more, think about the last time you failed, the last time you fell short. What stopped you? Was it really your circumstances, your genetics, your luck, or was it you? Was it the voice in your head that said, I can't? Before you even tried, was it the part of you that gave up at the first sign of resistance? Was it the choice to quit instead of pushing through? That's not misfortune. That's not bad luck. That's weakness, and weakness isn't fate. It's a decision. Here's the hard truth: the world doesn't care about your reasons. It doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care how many times you've been knocked down. All it cares about is one thing: what you do next. Do you stay on the ground, or do you get up? Do you whine about how hard it is, or do you make yourself harder? That's the difference between winners and losers. Not talent, not opportunity, not luck. Choice. The choice to fight when every part of you wants to quit. You want to know what real strength looks like? It's not never falling, it's always getting back up. It's not never feeling fear, it's acting in spite of it. It's not never doubting yourself, it's refusing to let that doubt control you. Strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, decision by decision, moment by moment, and yeah, it's going to hurt, it's going to test you, it's going to push you to your limits, but that's the point. That's how you grow. That's how you transform. That's how you go from the person who breaks under pressure to the person who thrives under it. The person who doesn't just survive challenges, who seeks them out. Because you know that every battle, every struggle, every ounce of pain is another step toward the best version of yourself. So ask yourself, how much longer are you going to choose weakness? How many more days are you going to waste letting life happen to you instead of taking control? How many more opportunities are you going to miss because you were too scared, too lazy, too weak to reach for them? The clock is ticking. Every second you spend hesitating is another second you'll never get back. Another chance wasted, another choice to stay small, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can change, you can get stronger, you can become the kind of person who doesn't back down, who doesn't make excuses, who doesn't accept weakness as an option. All you have to do is choose it. So what's it gonna be? Let me hit you with the cold, hard truth right now. The world doesn't give a damn about your sob story. It doesn't care how tired you are, how unfair life has been, or how many times you've failed. The world only respects one thing: unbreakable strength, the kind of strength that doesn't fold under pressure, the kind of strength that doesn't make excuses, the kind of strength that looks adversity dead in the eye and says, "Is that all you've got?" That's what gets rewarded. That's what gets remembered. That's what wins. Think about the people who dominate in this world. The ones at the top of their game, the ones living life on their own terms. You think they got there by complaining, by playing the victim, by crumbling every time things got hard? Hell no. They got there because they refused to be shaken. Because when everyone else quit, they kept going. Because when life threw its worst at them, they dug deeper. That's the difference between champions and everyone else. Not luck, not talent, mental toughness, the ability to stand when everything and everyone is trying to knock you down. And here's the brutal reality: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success because you deserve it. The world doesn't operate on fairness. It operates on force. Either you're strong enough to take what you want, or you'll spend your life watching others take it instead. That's not cruel. That's the game, and you're either playing to win or you're getting left behind. But here's the good news: you can become unshakable. It's not some magical trait only a few are born with. It's a choice, a daily decision to never let your circumstances dictate your effort, to never let your emotions override your discipline, to never let temporary setbacks derail your ultimate mission. Every time you choose to push through when you want to quit, you're building that unshakable core. Every time you refuse to make excuses, you're forging that champion's mindset. Every time you stand tall in the face of adversity, you're proving to yourself and to the world that you're built different. Look at your life right now. Where are you settling? Where are you letting excuses hold you back? Where are you allowing weakness to creep in? That's where the enemy is winning. That's where you're choosing to be ordinary, but you weren't meant to be ordinary. You were meant to dominate, to conquer, to refuse to lose. The world doesn't reward potential. It doesn't reward almost. It rewards results, and results only come from one place: relentless, unshakable action, day after day, week after week. Year after year, long after the motivation fades, long after the doubt creeps in, long after everyone else has given up, that's when the real winners separate themselves. That's when the magic happens. That's when you earn the life others only dream about. So ask yourself, are you really doing everything you can, or are you just doing what's comfortable? Are you pushing to your absolute limits, or are you stopping at the first sign of resistance? The gap between where you are and where you could be isn't talent, it isn't luck. It's how badly you're willing to fight for it. This is your wake-up call. The world doesn't care about your reasons, it cares about your results. It doesn't care about your struggles, it cares about your strength. And right now, it's waiting to see what you're made of. Will you bend, or will you prove you're unshakable? The choice is yours. But remember, legends aren't born. They're built one tough decision at a time, one hard-fought victory at a time, one unshakable stand at a time. Now go show the world what you're made of. Your past is not your prison. It's not your life sentence. It's not the final word on who you are or who you can become. Those mistakes you made, those failures that haunt you, those moments that still make you cringe when you think about them, they don't define you unless you let them. Your scars aren't signs of weakness. They are badges of survival. Proof that life tried to break you and failed. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep dragging your past behind you like a ball and chain, letting it weigh you down with every step. Or you can cut it loose. You can look at everything that's ever happened to you, the pain, the shame, the setbacks, and say, that was then, this is now. Because here's the truth: your past only has as much power over you as you give it. The moment you stop letting it control your present is the moment you take back your future. Think about the most powerful version of yourself, the person you dream of becoming. That person isn't held back by yesterday. That person doesn't waste energy regretting what can't be changed. That person uses the past as fuel, not as an anchor, because they understand something most people never will. What happened to you matters far less than what you do with it. Your trauma can either be your tombstone or your launching pad. Your choice. I know what some of you are thinking, but you don't understand what I've been through. You're right. I don't, but I know this. Somewhere out there is someone who's been through worse and is doing better. Someone who took their pain and turned it into power. Someone who looked at their darkest moments and said, "This won't be the end of my story." And if they can do it, so can you. Let me tell you something that might piss you off. Your past isn't special. It's not unique. Everyone carries baggage. Everyone has ghosts. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck isn't what they've been through. It's what they decide to do about it. You can spend your life explaining why you can't succeed, or you can start proving why you will. Those nights you cried yourself to sleep, they made you stronger. Those betrayals that left you shattered, they taught you who you can trust. Those times you fell flat on your face, they showed you how to get back up. Your past didn't break you. It built you, but only if you let it. Only if you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as a warrior who's still standing. Here's what nobody tells you: healing isn't about forgetting. It's about using. It's about taking every hurt, every lesson, every ounce of pain and weaponizing it for your future. The most dangerous people in this world aren't those who have never been hurt. They're those who have been hurt and refuse to let it stop them. They're the ones who look at their scars and say, "This is why I fight harder." So what's your story going to be? Are you going to keep letting your past write your future? Or are you going to grab the pen and start a new chapter? One where you're not defined by what happened to you, but by what you did about it. One where your struggles become your strength. One where your worst moments become the foundation for your greatest victories. The door to your past is closed. The door to your future is wide open, but you have to walk through it. You have to leave the baggage behind. You have to stop looking over your shoulder and start charging forward. Your history isn't your destiny. Your beginnings don't determine your endings, and no matter what's happened up until now, your best days are still ahead, but only if you choose to make them happen. Only if you decide, right here, right now, that from this moment forward, your past doesn't own you anymore. Now go claim the life you were meant to live. The clock is ticking, and every second you spend looking backward is a second you're not moving forward. It's time. Deep down in your bones you feel it. That version of yourself that makes your heart race when you imagine it. The version that speaks without fear. The version that takes what it wants. The version so powerful, so unstoppable, so dangerous to everything mediocre in your life that just thinking about it sends chills down your spine. That's not your enemy. That's not some fantasy. That's you. The real you. The you that's been buried under years of playing small, people pleasing, and self-doubt, and the only thing standing between who you are and who you could be is your own damn fear of how powerful you might become. Let me break this down for you. The reason that version of yourself scares you isn't because it's unrealistic. It's because it would change everything. It would mean no more excuses, no more hiding, no more settling. It would mean looking in the mirror and finally seeing the goddamn predator you were born to be instead of the prey you've been pretending to be. That's terrifying, but it's also exactly what you need. Because the life you want, it doesn't belong to the nice, polite, hesitant version of you. It belongs to the monster, the beast, the unstoppable force of nature that doesn't apologize for existing. Think about the last time you held yourself back. The opportunity you didn't take, the truth you didn't speak, the line you didn't cross. What stopped you? Was it really circumstance? Or was it that voice in your head whispering, "Who do you think you are?" That's your comfort zone talking. That's your weakness trying to keep you safe and small, but here's the brutal truth. Safety is an illusion. Playing small never protected anyone. It just made them easier to ignore. The world doesn't reward those who fit in. It rewards those who refuse to. Now imagine this. What if you stopped fearing that powerful version of yourself and became it? What if you walked into every room like you owned it? What if you demanded what you're worth instead of hoping someone might notice you? What if you stopped asking for permission and started taking what's yours? That's not arrogance. That's your birthright. Every time you've ever felt that surge of power, that flash of what if I just went for it, that wasn't some mistake. That was the real you trying to break free. The most dangerous lie you've ever believed is that you're not ready, that you need more time, more preparation, more something. Bullshit. You were born ready. The only thing you've ever needed was the courage to unleash yourself. Look at what happens when people finally stop holding back. When they embrace their full power without apology, they become unstoppable. They change their lives overnight. They shock everyone around them, not because they changed, but because they finally stopped pretending to be less than they are. This isn't about becoming someone else. This is about finally becoming who you've always been beneath the fear, that monster you're afraid of. It's not some separate entity. It's you without the chains, you without the doubt, you at full fucking power. And the only reason it scares you is because you know deep down that once you let it out, there's no going back. Once you taste that kind of strength, that kind of freedom, you'll never be able to settle for less again. So here's your choice. Keep taming yourself to make others comfortable. Keep dimming your light so you don't outshine the people around you. Keep pretending you don't want more because you're afraid to reach for it. Or you can embrace the monster. You can stop apologizing for your ambition. You can start taking up space in this world like you were meant to. You can become so powerful that your old self wouldn't even recognize you. This is your moment. That fear you feel, that's not a warning. It's a signal. It's showing you exactly where you need to go. That version of yourself that makes your pulse race. Run toward it, not away. The life you dream about isn't for some future perfected version of you. It's for the monster that's been inside you all along, waiting for you to stop being afraid of your own power. The cage was never locked. The door's been open this whole time. Now step the hell out.